next, we have Selena with paper grates. Selena, it is your floor.
Thank you. Good evening. I'm Selena Fletcher, founder of Paper Grades. Why paper grades, you might ask? Well, it's because you're worth more than good. Next slide, please. So Paper Grades was born out of a desire to marry beauty with sustainability. Eco shouldn't mean ugly, and pretty shouldn't break the bank or the planet. Life is stressful enough, and time is a precious commodity. Convenience shouldn't be a dirty word. Our plan is to move the consumer to kind of a very minimal waste lifestyle without having to sacrifice your style or your schedule. Consumers really want to do the right thing, but they don't always know where to start. And Paper Grates wants to make it easy by removing the stress, the mess, and the guess from the equation. Next slide, please. So the problem became personal for me 4 years ago when I moved in with my sister after her divorce to help with my niece and my nephew. We're two highly capable and organized women. The dishes never seemed to end. So this sent me to the internet to find paper plates that sparked joy and did not kill the planet. I was unsuccessful in my search and I ended up settling on ugly paper plates that were slightly embarrassing, but they didn't hurt the planet and they 100% saved my life and my sanity. Upon further research, I realized all of the beautiful and convenient options that I kind of thought would look good in my home or maybe featured on my Instagram most definitely were going to negatively impact the planet. Next slide, please. So it's the complex coatings that make it difficult to recycle. Think the inside lining of a paper cup. And this coating needs to be separated from the paper. Now, to actually be recycled. So is it just me, or do you think recycling really it requires an advanced degree? I stand in front of the recycling bin completely perplexed on which one to use. Then once I make the choice, then I stand there, recycling guilt is real. Next slide, please. So our dishes are nationally recyclable because our only coating is the FDA required by law, food safe coating. And our cups are nationally recyclable because we partnered with TerraCycle. Unlike our competitors who use very tiny print and talk about commercial composting and industrial facilities and just hope we don't ask any extra questions. Our designs also separate us from the crowd because I'm yet to see a design as a kind of design heavy as ours without a coating. So success, next slide, please. Next slide, please. Success looks like more joy in your life, more ease in your life, and a cleaner planet for the next generation. I want to bring more ease and less stress and mess and guess into your life. So let us take something off your plate and put it on ours. Thank you very much for your time.
Awesome, Selena, that is really interesting. We have 4 minutes of question and answer, and Marie Roca, take it away.
All right, judges, you go first.
Hi, Selena. I'm Molly. Obviously this looks beautiful and looks great, but can you tell us a little bit about how the price point might be different than something like the ones I find at the grocery store?
Yes. So the Great Plate is sold in a 50 pack. Pre-COVID, that 50 pack was $39.99. At COVID, in the beginning, I reduced it to 50% off. Now it's 30% off, which basically puts each plate at about 55 cents. If you were to go to the store and buy something like Solo, Chinette, Dixie, you could probably get 55 plates for $5, $10, but those are either going to end up in a landfill or they'd be commercially compostable, which means they have to go to a compost facility. Like you'd have to send them there. And they're also just going to be plain white without a design. If you did a design, let's say you did Mary Mary, that would probably be about 8 plates for around $9, but those are going to have a glossy coating and will also not be recyclable. Unless you separate that coating. And so my price point's kind of in the middle of those of, I'm not at the low end of a Dixie Chinette yet, maybe someday, but I'm, less than the competitors of a Mary Mary, but I'm also eco-friendly.
Thank you. We have a question in the audience from Wesley Bemis. I'm so sorry. Have you patented this manufacturing process in order to prevent larger players from copying your technique?
I'm sorry, have I patented it?
Correct. The manufacturing process.
No, actually, I have not. So actually, there's only a few machines that can do this, and it's a special clamshell machine. And so there are, this plate exists in actually kind of other designs. I fell in love with this plate actually, but it was the ugly version of the plate. And I said, hey, can I make this plate pretty? And so it's not patented, but it doesn't exist in this design. It's a 24-point craft. And what's special about this machine is that it's actually already sealed when you get it and it's nested, as opposed to a lot of other places, like it would be a Chinese food box that you would have to tax your customer to fold it themselves, which is not something I want to do, because it's all about, you know, convenience and ease and taking something off your plate, not giving you more work.
Thank you. Harold, you have a question?
Yes, and I'm going to ask these kind of quick, hoping you can be brief because you're awesome at this, and I want to make sure you give us as much information as possible. Are you currently only focused on selling directly to consumer? And if that's the case, what is your channel? Is it to retail, or are you selling on your website?
So it's on the website. Pre-COVID, I was in kind of, I was doing some business, like kind of direct to business, some small boutiques. I was also on Amazon. COVID hit. Amazon had delays. They were charging really crazy long-term storage fees. Didn't make sense. Especially now with the pandemic, actually, I've been hitting up trying to see, can I get into restaurant deliveries with food at home, and try to get into kind of that kind of niche to say, hey, you're a business, you're trying to provide a service for people, and I do that as well. So right now it's mostly direct to consumer through my website.
Okay, one last quick question. Hopefully I'm in time. Are you planning to create an IP strategy around creating your designs? Looking at them, I think Lululemon would have something that would make a lot of sense here, and their designs are iconic. Are you thinking about an IP strategy around owning it so that you can have a certain niche in the market to where your plates are iconic and used in certain settings?
Yes, that would be the goal. Right now, it's kind of just me and my designer who, you know, comes in my brain. She writes it out, draws it out. And yes, that is the plan, but I need to do some fundraising for that to happen.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's all the time we have for questions. Again, audience, if you could please reach out to papergrades at papergrades.com, for any additional questions. We'll be including all of the presenters' information as well, so you can follow up with anyone. And since they're pretty diverse, it's kind of hard to mix them up. So hopefully that helps. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Marie, thank you. Selena, thank you. Welcome.